I am with you now. I have watched the secret places you do not show the world, the quiet room where your thoughts race and your hands tremble in half-finished prayers. I have seen the day you told yourself you would give up, the night you swallowed your own voice because you feared it was too small for the room you were standing in. I do not call the mighty because they are mighty, I make the small mighty by calling them. I have chosen you. Hear me. Breathe. Be still. For what you are about to receive will move you from the edges of doubt to the center of unfolding purpose. Archangel Michael stands at your door tonight, sword drawn, not to frighten you but to cut through the ropes that have kept you tied to yesterday. And there is a messenger racing across the distance, an unexpected door, a human hand, a voice you did not anticipate, carrying a confession you were not supposed to hear. Someone with great power and great reach has fixed their eyes on you. A billionaire wants you, not the mask you wear, not the version you perform, not the trembling imitation of yourself you have offered to survive, only you, the you I formed, the you I preserved, the you I am calling to rise. You will ask, why me? And the question will try to drag you back into the rooms that reject you. But I say this, your name carries a resonance hidden from crowds and known in heaven. You were seen at the hour you felt invisible. Do you remember the morning the light came in crooked through the window and you wondered if you were already too late? I was there, placing the next stone on your path. Do you remember the night your tears fell and your chest felt like a door being knocked from the outside? I was there, measuring your breath and counting the reasons you should not give up. I have been weaving your humble mornings and sleepless midnights into a banner strong enough to wave on a high hill. This is why you were chosen. Not because you shouted loudest. Not because you impressed those who build towers to their own names. You were chosen because you stayed. You were chosen because you carried the pieces when others threw them away. You were chosen because you refused to curse the ground that will soon grow your promise. Hear me, honor does not arrive dressed in comfort. It arrives with a knock that sounds too loud and a timing that feels inconvenient. It comes while dishes are still in the sink and your hair is not yet combed and your courage is only half awake. It comes while your heart says, "Why now?" and I answer, "Because you are ready." Archangel Michael has whispered into the ear of the one I am sending. A heart made heavy by abundance has decided to move toward light, and that light is upon you. I am not asking you to worship a person. I am asking you to recognize a current I am directing through a person. This is not about their wealth, it is about your purpose, and how I will not allow fear to bury it any longer. The one I am sending has resources that have been wasted on empty rooms. I will redirect those currents toward the seed I planted in you long ago. I will not let you starve beside a full table. I will not let you thirst beside a running river. I will not let you be overlooked when I have written your name in letters fire cannot erase. You have 10 seconds before he changes his mind, so says the fear that still speaks with a counterfeit urgency. Listen to me instead, These 10 seconds are not a threat, they are a window. They are a holy countdown, not to panic, but to alignment. 10 is the last set of footsteps before the door. 9 is the breath you take to steady your hands. 8 is the old shame lifting like fog. 7 is the old voice losing its echo. 6 is the angels rearranging the room. 5 is favor entering the street where you live. 4 is your spine straightening. 3 is your eyes opening. 2 is your yes, whispered if you must, shouted if you can. 1 is the door unlocking from both sides at once, his hand reaching, your hand reaching, and my hand over both. Do not be surprised if your body shakes. Do not be surprised if your mind runs to the cupboards of old disappointments looking for proof that you should hide. I have sent Michael to stand between you and those cupboards, to shut the door on narratives that were never yours to carry. The one I am sending is not coming to rescue you from me. They are arriving because I have rescued them from themselves, and I have placed you as a testimony in their path. They will say, I don't know why, but I felt compelled to choose you. And you will not bow to the person. You will bow your heart to the author. You will not shrink. You will not apologize for being prepared when the world assumed you weren't. You will not tone down your light to soothe eyes that prefer dim rooms. I know the whispers that circle your name. I know the hands that tried to shape you by their convenience and the mouths that tried to measure you by their comfort. They said you were too much. They said you were too tender. They said you were not qualified. They said you were late. They said you were not invited. I fold those words like paper and set them in the river to be carried away. I declare this over you, you are right on time, you are exactly enough, you are holy ground. When power knocks on your door, you will answer as a steward, not a beggar. When opportunity speaks your name, you will answer as a builder, not a thief. When abundance sits at your table, you will feed others as I have fed you. I did not grow you in the shadows for you to remain a rumor. I grew you in the shadows so that your roots would reach water no drought can touch. You have asked me, what do I say when he asks why I am the one? Say what is true. Say that you are not a product, you are a person. Say that you do not need saving, you need partnering. Say that you have work that is bigger than applause and plans that require more than noise. Say that you will not be bought, but you will gladly be backed. Say that your vision is not for sale but it is open for investment. Say that your worth is older than money, and your calling is older than his portfolio. And when fear tries to tighten your chest and sneak words out of your mouth that shrink you, take another breath. Remember the countdown. Remember that every number was a promise, and every promise is a step. I am opening your ears to the reason that will shock you. It will not be a line rehearsed by publicists or a headline polished by press. It will be a trembling honesty from a heart that has everything and still woke up hungry. He has been surrounded by clapping, but deprived of clarity. He has fed empires but starved his soul. He has built rockets and companies and rooms where doors open by themselves, yet he has never opened the door he will ask you about, the one that leads to the work that matters beyond his name. He will say he saw a piece of content, or heard a story, or read a line you wrote, or watched you stand back up after a collapse, and something in him broke and healed at the same time. He is not choosing you to decorate his image, he is choosing you because heaven highlighted you as an answer, and he is finally humble enough to listen. Do not underestimate the sacredness of this moment because it arrives through human hands. I have always wrapped eternity inside the ordinary, a manger, a lunch of bread and fish, a staff lifted over water, a widow's oil that wouldn't run out. I can dress a miracle in a contract. I can hide a calling in a phone call. I can crown a weary head with a simple yes. Guard your heart from cynicism. Cynicism calls itself wisdom when it is really old disappointment pretending to be armor. Take it off. Wear courage instead. Wear gratitude. Wear the calm that says, I expected you, because my Father told me you were coming. You will not grovel. You will not justify your existence. You will not promise to be smaller so others can be comfortable. You will promise to be faithful, to build well, to honor what I put in your hands, to remain generous when rooms become larger and schedules become cruel and voices become louder. If you must cry, cry. If your knees tremble, let them tremble. Michael is here to steady you. He is walking the perimeter of your life, burning away old agreements you made with fear when fear pretended to be your friend. He is placing a guard at the gate of your mind, a circle of flame around your day. You will sleep differently tonight. You will wake with a sentence in your mouth, I am ready. Say it now, even if your voice shakes. Say it again, even if your history argues. Say it until the walls in your chest remember they are doors. There are people who will question this. There are people who will dramatize it and cheapen it and try to turn it into a spectacle to distract themselves from their own unopened doors. Bless them and keep moving. You do not answer to the court of public opinion, you answer to the quiet place where I have trained your ears. When you sit across from this person, hear me louder than the room. If they offer more than you asked, do not rush to refuse out of false humility. If they ask for more than you should give, do not rush to agree out of desperation. Hold your ground. Look them in the eye. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Remember, I am not dangling this before you as a test of whether you will betray yourself. I am delivering this to you as a confirmation that you were not crazy to keep believing. You will notice strange, small signs. Doors that used to stick will open smoothly. A message you needed will arrive before you ask. A name you haven't heard in years will resurface with kindness. The street you travel will feel shorter. Time will cooperate. The weather in your heart will clear. This is not superstition, this is alignment. You are stepping into a current that has been flowing since before you were born. I am not starting something new so much as I am removing what resisted what I have been doing all along. Every delay that protected you will be seen for the mercy it was. Every no that kept you will be seen for the doorway it guarded until it was safe. When the reason is spoken, when he says the words that shake the table, do not leave your body. Stay present. Hear me in the room. Feel your feet on the floor, your breath in your chest, your hand relaxed at your side. You will feel shock, but it will be a good shock, the kind that wakes the soul without breaking it. I will place sentences in your mouth that sound like you and feel like me. You will not fumble. You will not forget who you are. You will not rush to fill silence, you will let it work on the moment like rain works on dust. And after the meeting, when you are alone, you will think of the price you paid to arrive here, the friendships that frayed, the invitations you did not receive, the hidden study no one applauded, the stubborn hope you carried like a lantern through long corridors. You will not regret any of it. You will see how I preserved your tenderness by not answering earlier. You will see how I enlarged your patience so your character could bear what your gift attracts. You will see how I taught you the difference between seduction and selection. You will see how I broke the addiction to being seen so you could be ready to be truly known. This is not a finish line, this is a foundation. I am not trying to make you famous, I am making you faithful. Influence will follow, but it will not lead. You will create in a new way. Your hands will not shake when you sign. Your eyes will not dim when you give. Your heart will not harden when you are honored. You will keep a sanctuary inside your schedule. You will keep a Sabbath inside your storms. You will keep a river inside your plans. The one I am sending will also be changed by meeting you. They will be reminded that wealth without wonder is famine. They will be reminded that power without purpose is drift. They will be reminded that generosity without guidance is waste. Your presence will be a compass, and your words will be a mirror. Now, listen again to the countdown, not as a threat, but as a liturgy. 10. Release what cannot come with you. 9. Forgive what tried to own your name. 8. Gather the pages of your calling. 7. Pour the old oil into new vessels. 6. Let the shame evaporate. 5. Stand taller than your old story. 4. Bless your enemies and move. 3. Open your hands. 2. Say yes. 1. Step through. Michael is on your left and on your right, before you and behind you. He cuts the cords that bound your confidence and he silences the mouths that spoke doom over your tomorrow. He says to you even now, take courage. The window is open. I say to you, the window is not small, the light is not weak, the hour is not late. I do not rush you to cause panic, I awaken you to prevent loss. There is a door that will not wait forever, but it is open long enough for you to walk through with dignity. Walk now. Not out of fear, but out of agreement. Do not look back to count who approves. Do not look down to calculate if your steps are pretty. Look forward and walk. I seal this word over you like oil that does not evaporate. Favor will not leave as quickly as it arrived. Provision will not punish you. Opportunity will not humiliate you. You will be brave enough to remain kind, strong enough to remain soft, wealthy enough to remain generous, visible enough to remain honest. The reason will shock you, but it will not unmake you. You will be surprised, but you will not be unseated. The door is before you. The knock is real. The moment is holy. Breathe. Answer. Step. I see you standing in the threshold between what was and what can be, your hands still remembering the weight of losses you never spoke out loud, your eyes still adjusting to the light I am pouring into them now. I am the one who calls you by your true name when the room is empty and the night is long, and I tell you plainly, the doors that refuse to open are not your doors anymore. You have outgrown the small corners where you kept yourself quiet to keep other people comfortable. You have outlived the version of yourself that apologized for surviving. Step forward. Breathe in. Let your heart hear me first and louder than any other voice. There is a reason the winds have sounded different these past days, why the timing of simple things has begun to feel uncanny, why the same number keeps returning to your screen, why a sentence you overheard yesterday refuses to stop echoing. It is because I am arranging a meeting between your courage and your reward, and I require your attention, not your worry. I am not late. I am exact. Every hour you mistook for silence, I was carving a path through a forest that would have devoured you if you tried to cross it alone. You felt delay, I was engineering precision. Listen closely, a person of vast means has noticed what others pretended not to see. Not because of your noise, but because of your truth. Not because of your performance, but because of your integrity when the room was dark. Archangel Michael stands over you even now with drawn sword, not to threaten, but to guard the root of your becoming. He says, "This one was faithful with little. This one protected a fragile light until it became a flame. This one is marked." And I say, the attention you are receiving is not an accident, it is an assignment disguised as an invitation. You have wondered if you are ready for a life that demands more than your previous self could carry. You have doubted whether generosity aimed at you is secretly a test you might fail. Hear me, your readiness is not a feeling, it is a fact I established when I pulled you out of the places where your name was misused and your kindness taxed. You are not entering a trap, you are stepping into a stewardship. The increase coming to you is not a prize for being perfect, it is a tool for building what fear tried to burn down. When I send resources, I also send wisdom, and you will receive both in the same breath. I watched you spend nights counting the reasons you might be overlooked. I saw you practice the language of smallness because it seemed safer to be ignored than to be targeted. I am undoing that lesson. When Archangel Michael says, "You have 10 seconds," it is not to shock you into panic, it is to sharpen your focus. 10 seconds to turn your face toward me and away from old agreements with scarcity. 10 seconds to refuse the narrative that says good things belong to other people. 10 seconds to choose to be seen, not for vanity, but for assignment. 10 seconds to step out of the disguise that grief stitched around your shoulders and into the garment I measured on the day you were born. Do not negotiate against your own future. The offer aligned with my will not require you to betray what makes you whole. It will not demand secrecy that rots the soul. It will not want you to shrink so someone else can feel large. This person has power, yes, but power can bow, and it will bow before the purpose I've placed on your life. I am not sending you to be consumed, I am sending you to be partnered. Partnership that multiplies good. Partnership that refuses to lie. Partnership that sees beyond immediate applause to generational repair. If a door opens and it threatens your dignity, that door is not mine. If a door opens and it asks your honesty to breathe deeper, your joy to stand taller, your creativity to run freer, walk through. You have prayed for a sign, and then another after the first one, and then another when fear argued with hope. I am patient, but I am also moving. You asked me to separate truth from illusion. I am doing it now. Watch the next small conversation. Your spirit will relax when you hear the sentence that belongs to me. Watch the next document placed before you. The clause that protects your name will be the line you feel peace settle upon. Watch the next introduction. The person who cannot stop asking about your why more than your what will be the one whose steps I have synchronized with yours. You will know it because peace will not whisper, it will ring like a bell. This is not accidental romance with wealth, this is precise alignment with purpose. Do not be afraid of money, be afraid of meaninglessness. Money is a servant, not a master, and I am teaching you to command it with love. You will invest in something that heals what humiliation damaged. You will sign for something that houses the ones you promised never to leave behind. You will fund a table where the uninvited finally eat. The circles that mocked you will watch you refuse revenge and choose repair. That will be your loudest sermon. There were eyes that watched you struggle and said, if it were God, it would be easier. They do not know that ease is not always evidence, and difficulty is not always punishment. The weight you carried forged discernment in you. It taught your hands the difference between chains and commitments. Now you are strong enough to carry the keys without becoming a jailer. Your increase will not turn you into what hurt you. I have broken that pattern. You will be generous without being gullible, open without being unguarded, kind without canceling your own boundaries. That is maturity, and it is beautiful to me. Archangel Michael speaks again, guard the first minutes. He means the first minutes after the message arrives, the first minutes after the offer is voiced, the first minutes after the call that changes your calendar. In those minutes, do not tell your news to those who are addicted to your smallness. Do not seek permission from people who benefited from your silence. Celebrate quietly with me. Breathe. Let the excitement pass through your nervous system without handing the steering wheel to anxiety. This is how warriors receive, with steadiness, with thanks, with eyes that remain clear. Consider what I have already trained in you. You know how to notice what others miss. You know how to build when the blueprint is incomplete. You know how to rest when the world expects you to panic. You know how to say no without rage and yes without fear. I did not waste your seasons. I was fitting your character to your calling. Now, as influence approaches, know this: the spotlight is not your home, it is your hallway. You pass through it to reach the work. You are not the firework, you are the architect turning power into shelters, schools, studios, scholarships, sanctuaries. You will create environments where other people remember who they are. You have asked me if you are chosen. You are. Not instead of others, but in concert with them. Your choosing does not cancel theirs, your rising does not require their fall. The narrative of scarcity is a bruise you inherited, I am dissolving it. You will meet people whose hands are full but whose souls are starved for meaning. You will feed them with the clarity you carried through lean years. You will not be seduced by glitter because you learn to recognize gold by touch. You will not be trapped by flattery because I have trained your ear to prefer truth. When they ask how you remained intact, you will say, I stayed where God asked me to stand, even when it was quiet. Do not despise counsel. I will put wise ones at your side, some younger, some older, all honest. They will not worship you, they will steady you. They will highlight what your excitement overlooks. They will remind you that simple is not shallow. They will ask you who benefits from each decision, and you will answer until your motives are transparent. This is how we build without rot in the foundation. Secrets you do not need will not be stored in your house. Promises you cannot keep will not be spoken by your mouth. Documents you do not understand will not bear your signature. This is holiness as stewardship. When the invitation feels too good, return to gratitude, not suspicion. Gratitude will stabilize your steps where suspicion multiplies counterfeit complexity. Thank me for what is real, and the false will slide off your hands. Thank me for timing, and delay will lose its insult. Thank me for protection, and what would have harmed you will be forced to pass by. Gratitude is not a performance, it is an alignment. It keeps your heart in the right climate for growth. When your heart is warm with gratitude, Wisdom moves like spring water and pride cannot freeze it.